Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is good. Yep. Just messaging Luca now. He's having some issues, but he is on the way. Obviously I weren't gonna go live. I was gonna wait for him, but I thought I would just in case anyone's wondering what's going on with the show. It's understandable, you know. It was me. I was late. I was late for the Shane Guna one. And it was me again with some issues yesterday. Big up Carl from Gun Down UK. We was both here on time, but it was more technical issues. So stuff happens, man. Stuff happens. I understand it. Just give some time to build up anyway. I hope whoever's in here is doing well this evening. Good evening. Just messaging him now, people. And we understand that it does get a bit technical, man. It does get a bit technical, but we are waiting for Luca. Big him up. Arsenal and MK Dons fan. Obviously, we're gonna hear what he's got to say about especially MK Dons. I don't know too much about it. I can't act like I've been following anything like that. So it'll be good to hear his views. So we will wait for him to turn up. But in other than that, I should say, I was just watching Abs and Tony. They just had a good show. Couple of things going over. Gabriel Magalhaes maybe going to Saudi, or the Saudis trying to line up a bid for him. I don't want to talk too much on it because obviously I'm trying to talk with Luca about it once he arrives. But yeah, it is quite interesting. It's a hard one. I mean, we've heard that Saliba, his head might have been turned by Madrid, hearing about Madrid wanting him. That was a thing. And now obviously the Saudis with Gabriel. I totally understand it, to be honest with you, because you know, this season especially, Gabriel has been better than Saliba, in my honest opinion. He's more of a leader of men. Do you know what I mean? He's more vocal and stuff like that on the pitch. You know, he seems like he's just more up for it. If that's my captain, in all honesty, that is my capitan. So I'll be sad to see any of them go. Obviously, I feel like they need each other. Well, I feel like Saliba needs Gabriel more than the other way around, which is wild because a lot of people were saying that they want Gabriel out, especially a couple of years ago when Saudi popped up then. You know? And it's funny how things change around. Obviously, Saliba's younger than Gabriel. But like I said, is he a leader of men in the same way? I mean, we've already got someone that's kind of like Odegaard, like, do you know what I mean? Not really vocal and try to lead on the pitch with how they play. I suppose that's more William Saliba's game. But like I said, we've already got that. We have already got it. So for me, if I had to let go of one, I think Gabriel's 27. I don't know when he's going to be 28, but for me, I know it's a hard one to do. It's a hard choice to make, but it would definitely be Saliba, man. I think we get more money for him, being younger as well. And as much as I don't think we could replace any of them, especially not Saliba, but at this point in time, like with where our team's at, you know, if you put a gun to my head and said pick, I'm sorry, even though Saliba's younger, I would try and get as much as I could for Saliba. But it's a hard one, man. And then how much money would you actually get? You know, is 100 million enough? Is 100 million enough? Big up Tony Claude Gunner. He didn't seem to think it was. But I hear Abs's point as well. Like at the end of the day, we talked. Their example was Isak. You know, Isak asking for. Sorry, Newcastle asking for 150 M's for Isak. You know, and Tony's comparing it to that. However, I get Abs's point. Like, you know, Saliba's a defender, or Gabriel, they're defenders. So they generally don't go for as much as strikers usually. You know, like that. So it's a hard one, guys. It's a hard one. These were the situations that was bound to come up. Obviously, when Luca gets on here, I will ask him what his thoughts are on that. Big up all the playback gang. A couple of people coming in, coming out. I realize I've got a show scheduled, but I'm not going to be onto the guest too much because, like I said, it was me that was running late for my first ever show, so we ain't going to be a hypocrite. And yeah, I was going to have a quick little look on the cesspool that is Sky Sports. I usually do this, you know how we do. Obviously, it's international break, so most of the news is about England. And I'm actually working tomorrow. Was it England Albania first, I think, and then England Latvia on Monday. I'm actually doing both games to go and put the flags down, depending on what they actually want. They might want the St. George flag, they might want scarves. Obviously, that's the kind of thing we find out. Well, we find out when we turn up, but the people that actually accept the job, they know exactly what's going on. So it's a little bit annoying in that way. Little bit annoying that way, yeah. So I think it's England Albania Friday, which is tomorrow. And this is a very quick one. So this is just like, I think 7:45 until like 12. So it's not gonna stop. It's more than likely it's gonna be St. George's flag. Bigger AFC always. My bro, hope you're good this evening. We are waiting our guest, but I thought I'd come live in case anyone thought the show weren't gonna happen. You know, lateness is greatness, people. Like I said, I'm not gonna get onto my guest because my first ever show for Under the Lens with Shane Guna. Like, we meant to start at 11 and I was still sleeping, bro. How about that? Do you know what I'm saying? My alarm didn't go off. The missus didn't wake me up. You know, Shane Goon was ringing my phone. I was like, oh shit, give me 10 minutes, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I know how it goes, man. I know how it goes. But bigger AFC always, man. As always, man. Oh, actually, so now there's a picture. I don't think you lot are going to be able to see the picture because of the blur that I've got in the background. You might be able to see the England flag. So I think that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow at Wembley. Big up, don't waste a tweet. Hope you're well, my bro. Just trying to explain to everyone that, you know, life happens and my guest is running late, but we ain't going to hold it against him. As I explained, I was late for my first ever show, but we were just kind of tippy-toeing around some things until Luca gets here. And obviously, if there is any issues where we can't get here, we'll have to reschedule and I'll just run a normal live. But life, guys, it happens. But obviously, if he does turn up and everything's all right with him, then we will get into some stuff about his club, because obviously he supports Arsenal, but he does do MK Dons content as well. I think he's made his channel more MK Dons. He'll probably explain all of that once he turns up. Big up 4-0 down. Hope you're well today, my guy. Big up, man. You was in the show earlier. Same for don't waste a tweet. AFC always. Not sure I saw you earlier actually, but your favorite guy was in there, so I've had to take some measures because he was back to his brilliant best. Big up, man, like Static as well. Big yourself up each and every time. Yeah, he's saying big up views in the chat. Don't waste a tweet. Hello. Question: can Liverpool win with 20-point gap breaking Man City record. Yeah, I think they can. I mean, what is it now? I've actually got Sky up here. Let me see if I can look at the table. What is it now? Like 12 points, is it? Because we played and they didn't. Yeah, it's 12 points at the moment. We're on 58. Let me get this up. 12 points. Yeah, big up AF. As always, my bro. But we're gonna get it up anyway, just so we can show the gang. Just so we can show the gang. There you have it, man. 70 points. That looks so bad, doesn't it? 12 points, man. And look, this is 58 points in second position. And teams usually come up saying, you know, it's the journey to 40 points to avoid relegation. And we're literally like 18 points above that in second. So that is relatively wild. But do I think, I mean, we've got Fulham and Everton next. We've got 2 weeks off now. But obviously, our players will probably be involved in international football, as we all know. So let's hope and pray that no one gets injured. Big up Aaron Talks Arsenal. Welcome on in. Make sure everyone goes to subscribe to Aaron Talks Arsenal. Definitely going to get a show in with him next week if possible. Make sure you go and subscribe to Don't Waste a Tweet as well. Arsenal content creators, big up, man, big up. The guest is running slightly late, but like I said, guys, I ain't gonna hold it against him because that would be a bit hypocritical, wouldn't it? But I thought I'd just jump on and let everyone know that we are still here. If there is any other issues, like I said, and he can't turn up, then I'll just run a little quick live and we will have to rearrange. But yeah, that's the table, guys. And to answer your question, yes, I think they can do it. Whether they will, I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of people seem to put stock in the fact that, you know, they've gone out of 2 competitions within a week, and it's hard not to put any stock in that. I mean, it's right there before your eyes. It's kind of like an Arsenal thing to do, in my humble opinion. So, you know, and Liverpool's been in a position where they've bottled it before. You know, I don't know what the exact stat is, but I think it's like 8 times, you know, that they've been top. I think they've won it the 1 time or something like that. So it's not too far off Arsenal, but this year I just think it's gone too far. I think it's gone too far and we have too little. Obviously we've got a half decent foundation. Big up Tony Claude Gunner. He was just saying that on the show, you know, against Real Madrid. Everyone thinks we're going to get thumped. Listen, I don't think we're going to, I think that's our final. I don't think we're going to get past Real Madrid. But when you say thumped, it's all relative, innit? I don't think has Arsenal been beat by more than 3 goals this season? I don't think we have. So there's that in it. Do you know what I mean? But a loss is a loss at the end of the day. I mean, it very well could be. It very well could be. You know, but we have got we got a small little chance. But it's like the lottery, like I said earlier. Yeah, we got a chance, but is it likely? In my opinion, no, it isn't. And Tony made a great point. Is it defeatist to think that way? I mean, maybe it might be. Maybe to a degree. I can definitely see that argument. However, I always thought someone with my take on the club as more of a realist, bro. I'm about to be 41 next month. Like, I've seen this story over and over again. The constant PR, you know, processes, all of this crap. We're going to do this different and that different. And in reality, what's really different at the club? You know? Still paying mad wages. Still got players we can't get rid of. Like, this summer's going to be monumental. So now we're really going to see, you know, what, as Ab said, what type of Bert are we going to get? Is he going to be the Godfather Bert? You know, where he don't even talk, he just looks at people and the Godfather music's playing in the background. You know, like that. That's the kind of Bert I want to see. Or is he going to be Sesame Street Bert? Like Ab said. Yes, man, Bert. I don't think so. But at the same time, I can't remember who said it, but Arteta's won all of his battles, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? He is the Highlander in terms of Arsenal right now. 100% the Highlander. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Like I said, to go back to your question, bro, and you know me, I always kind of get long winded, but yeah, I think they can. I think they can do it. Obviously, will they? I'm not sure, but I think they can. It all just depends on. It all just depends on how they come back now. They've got a big enough gap where even if they didn't come back straight away great and they had one or two bad games, they've still got that gap. I feel like the gap is just a bit too big at this point in time. I really do. And it's asking a lot. Like, what's the swing? Like, how many would they have to lose? I can't even be working it out right now. How many would they have to lose? You know, so yeah, 12 points at this point in time. And yeah, both on the same games. We've got Fulham and Everton coming up, man. And for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, that's like worse than if we was playing like United and Liverpool or Liverpool and City or something like that. I swear to God, because we know what happens when we play those teams, innit? We know what happens when we play those teams, guys. It is not a good look. I'm just gonna make Aaron a mod right now. Big up Aaron each and every time. Make sure you go and subscribe. The same for Don't Waste a Tweet. Big up 4-0 down. I'm not sure if you make content, my bro, but big yourself up all the same. What time have we got? 6:20, and we are still waiting. I can't go much beyond 7 o'clock anyway, gang. So like I said, you know, if Luca does turn up, it's probably going to be a shortened show, and if not, we might have to rearrange, man. But how are you all feeling? Like I said, we've heard that Gabriel is getting touted by the Saudis. What do you guys think of it, man? Don't waste a tweet. Big up Aaron if you're still in the building. AFC always. Let me know, man. And I asked a question to Tony and Abs. You know, if you had the gun to your head, which one would you sell? Gabriel's my captain right now. But I don't care what no one says. Like, I hate the fact that Odegaard is got the armband. Gabriel's my captain. Like, I know Gabriel's older, so obviously he's got more time to grow and build into something. But I feel like say for instance, like if Gabriel's out and it's Saliba and someone else, I feel like that partnership, say it's Saliba and Calafiori or Saliba and Kivior, I feel like that partnership is going to find it more hard than if it was Gabriel and Kivior or Gabriel and Calafiori. Like, do you get what I'm saying? That's kind of my thing on it. And like I said, I feel like Gabriel's more of a leader of men. You know what I'm saying? He's vocal. He gets the crowd on it, and it don't seem like it's a like, you know, those kind of those air ones that Odegaard does when he's trying to get the crowd up, but you're like, you're not even playing well, bruv. Like, Gabriel does it like he's passionate about defending, innit? Like, so maybe it's a language thing. Maybe that's the reason why, you know, Gabriel ain't already holding the armband. But for me, I mean, you guys let me know. There's 6 of you in the building. Let me know, like, you know, which one would you sell? You got Real Madrid looking at Saliba. You got the Saudis looking at Gabriel. And you know what the Saudis can do when they start dashing that money around, man. So let me know your thoughts on that one, gang. Big up 4-0 down. I'm starting when the international games finish. Oh, okay. Big up, man. Big up. Make sure you go and subscribe to 4-0 down. It looks like he's going to get something cracking in terms of a channel. Oh, no, look. We have Luca in the building.
Big up, man. Big up. Sorry, I'm a bit late, bro.
Listen, it happens, my guy. Don't worry. I was just saying to everyone.
I apologize and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I was late for my first ever one, so don't feel no way. Don't feel no way. Glad to finally have you though. Obviously, I was just teetering around it.
Thank you very much and all that stuff.
Yeah, no worries, man. Well, obviously, this is your Under the Lens. I know it's going to be cut short a little bit.
Yeah, of course, man, of course.
Yeah, we'll get something done again. So what I do obviously tend to start with, Luca, is just obviously ask everyone about their exposure to the club, with you.
Yeah,
Uh, that's obviously two different clubs, so maybe you want to tell us about that, and just obviously your thoughts on the club as a whole now before we get into any more subject.
yeah. Look, for me, look, for Arsenal at the moment, look, I'm Mikel Arteta out majority. I have a YouTube channel. People know my reasons about Mikel Arteta, and at the moment, I'm not happy with the club at the moment. We haven't won the league since 2004. This fan base is now accepting failure, finishing second. And I know he took us into a title challenge, and last season we almost won the league, but it ain't good enough. We should have strengthened a striker in the summer, but we end up getting Raheem Sterling. And then we go again in January. We didn't buy anyone. And majority, it ain't good enough for Arsenal. For a football club, should not be challenged, should not be 15, 12, 15 points behind Liverpool, which a Liverpool team that weren't that great when we beat them at the Emirates last season, right? Majority of that, it ain't good enough. And we
Mm,
challenged with Man City for two consecutive seasons last season,
mm,
right? And we should have got it over the line. And this year was the opportunity in the January transfer window to go and get an Ollie Watkins, a Victor Osman, or even a Semenyo from Bournemouth. But we didn't. And this is why Mikel Arteta and the Cronkies and that are not ambitious. And people want to accept failure. And this is why I'm not Mikel Arteta's biggest fan. And people are now gassing up, right, that we're going to beat Real Madrid. We're not beating Real Madrid, right? And they're on about getting Bukayo Saka for back, right? Would you rush Bukayo Saka back for the Real Madrid game?
Hey, well, we got a lot to cover, my bro. We got a lot to cover. Obviously, I want to get into it individually, with
Yeah,
yourself.
of course.
And I know, and obviously your story is a bit different as well because it's not just Arsenal, it's MK Dons as well. And as I was saying
Yeah,
to the people just before you came on, it's not much I know about MK Dons. So maybe give us a little breakdown about the Dons before we get back into Arsenal,
yeah,
like
of course. About
how they're
MK
getting on in the
Dons.
league.
Yeah, of
What
course. It's me as an MK Dons content creator. Obviously, people know me that obviously I do EFL. I'm the main vlogger at MK. People tend to watch my vlogs. That's the only thing what people watch, and that's fine. Majority, I go to Milton Keynes like every single week. I'm going to Cheltenham away on Saturday. Regardless to that, I'm really looking forward to that as I've got my Cheltenham ticket today. Majority of
Hey,
that. So
mm,
yeah, I'll be going. I started supporting Milton Keynes in when they were in the Championship in the 15-16 season, and I started going. And then I stopped going for a few years, and then I started going again since last season and this season. So, majority of that, I supported the local team as well. Arsenal's always going to become my first team, and then
mm,
MK's my second team and all that stuff. And majority, like I go and watch MK a lot because obviously tickets are so hard to get for Arsenal. Every game I try and apply, I always get
yeah.
rejected. And I thought, you know what? I just go and watch MK. Joy is so much easier. I know
Hmm.
it's not bad. I can go and watch a game less stressful. Obviously, Arsenal still stresses me, but majority of that's just me about my channel and all that stuff. And I started this YouTube channel as a day out vlog channel. Like obviously like vlogging like places and all that, and then I turned it into a football channel and thought, you know
Hmm.
what, I started doing Arsenal content and I started getting some Arsenal guests on like Northside, lead judges, all this that, and then Dan Potts and that, and then majority of that. I do need to start getting collabs and guests on again. I've stopped doing that for a bit, and I do want to get those type of people back on the channel. And then,
Okay,
of
doke.
course, majority of that. But yeah, also do Don's content as well, and people enjoy my vlogs, and that is my channel. I started a YouTube channel August the 4th, 2020.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, you're not
I
doing
think he's
too bad. I think
frozen.
you're on
I
what,
think you're
8,000
frozen,
odd.
bro.
Well, I'm
I think
frozen.
he's frozen, bro. Or is it me
All right.
lagging?
Maybe come back in
Let me
and
put it
come
in the
back
private
out.
chat.
That seem like I feel like I'm all right.
Am I lagging?
Not at the moment, but can you hear me still?
I think I'm lagging, bro. Oh
Think
my
you're lagging.
god,
Maybe come
connection's a
out and
bit
come
very
back in if
bad.
you want.
Connection's a bit very bad.
Yeah, it's all right. I know that it sounds like you're
I
out
think
or
I'm
something like
lagging.
that. I'm
Sorry
having the boot.
about this, man.
Yeah, no worries, man. If you have to come back, go out and come back in, then do what you need to do, bro.
1 minute.
Sounds like he's having a drink as well, man. Big up AFC always. The club is not the club we started supporting. I definitely agree with that. 100% agree with that. He said I'm lagging. Yeah, give me a second. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Come back. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's all right, mate. I know you're out
Are
and
you?
about.
Is it lagging? Am I lagging?
Well, on my side, it's a little bit choppy, but
Yes.
it's all right now. It's all right now. I know you're out, so that's all good.
It's all right then.
I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you about your dons. I mean, because like I said, I mean, I've seen a couple of your videos and I actually quite enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like you'd be able to capture the same experience if you was to do that at the Emirates. What made you want to kind of say you're gonna kind of move a little bit away from the Arsenal content and make it more MK Dons?
Can you say that again? Because obviously it was lagging a little bit.
Yeah, no worries. I'm saying, when did you make the decision to kind of go a little bit away from Arsenal content and more towards MK
No, what
Dons?
it was, look, I started doing it just because majority of like I think it was like beginning of this season and all that stuff, and then the majority of that, I thought to myself, you know what, I want to try and do something out of reach, and Arsenal were giving me so much stress at the moment, and I thought,
Mm,
you know, obviously like, I'm still an Arsenal fan, and I always will be an Arsenal fan. Arsenal would always be my first team. Arsenal always comes first, and over MK Dons. But
mm.
majority of that, I just decided to do a vlog, and there wasn't really an MK Dons vlog, and I thought, you know what, I started doing it, and people started to look at me.
Yeah.
People started like obviously the club knows me now, majority, and they always come and say to me, "You are the vlogger" and all that stuff. And I've been on the ITV News before, majority,
Wicked. Wicked.
majority once, just
Hey,
about the
it's better than nothing, innit? Do you know
It's
what I
better
mean?
than
Like, come
nothing.
on.
It's better than
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
And yeah, look, for me, people enjoy my vlogs. People come up to me. I've had a couple of selfies and all that stuff.
Wicked,
And
wicked.
but don't worry, I'm not trying to get famous. Don't worry, I'm not like the big. I'm not like these big YouTubers and all that stuff. But no,
Hey,
but majority of that. There's something where I want to start from, and look, people enjoy the vlogs. They look on my vlogs every Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday games,
yeah.
and that's where I wanted to start from MK, and it's something where I really enjoy and all that
Mm.
stuff, and people enjoy the vlogs, man. You know what I mean? I get good views for the vlogs.
Yeah,
That's my
no,
most.
I feel like I
That's
feel
the
like you
most
found the
views I
niche.
get. My live streams don't do very well, but I don't care about that.
Mhm.
But majority of that, um, the views do very well for the vlogs. Like last week, I hit 1.6, and then the
Nice.
other week I hit 1.1k, and then the other one was like 400 and something. So
Yeah, it's up and down. It's up and down. But I feel like you've actually found a niche in it. You know what I mean? For MK Dons, and as you said, I definitely don't know any other content creators doing MK. And as you said, it's accessibility as well, because you couldn't do
yeah,
half of that stuff at the Emirates. You can't even get tickets. Do you know what I mean?
no,
So
you can't.
feels like a family experience. What does it feel like for you when you're in there, like doing it?
I feel like
You know,
it's a very good family. It's not the same as Arsenal, but what annoys me is I hate when Arsenal play the same time as
mm,
MK if there's like a 3 o'clock kickoff. Because when I went to Bradford away a few weeks back when we lost to West Ham at home, I was getting really frustrated. And majority of that, I was more paying attention to the Arsenal game.
to
But
the
of course, I
Arsenal.
was so focused in the Bradford game as well. I'm thinking when we lost to West Ham, the Dons lost to Bradford, it was a horrible day.
Yeah,
Majority, I just weren't happy. And then I was very disappointed. Um, and I was just angry. I think I did a match reaction. I can't really remember if I did do a reaction. I think it was the next day. I can't really remember. But that's where I don't like when MK play Arsenal at the same time because obviously it kind of ruins my weekend. I keep thinking, oh, Arsenal going to lose today. Arsenal, I've got a bad feeling. This and that, this and that.
mm.
And I just like sometimes Arsenal win and I'm happy
Okay, we got a little bit
with
of
my
a
team.
freeze.
But majority, I would like Arsenal to win more. I'd like Arsenal to win more.
Mm, mm. And that's crazy as well, man.
And
Obviously, you need
they're
to
in,
throw, but that's crazy as well because not I know other people sometimes they have more than one team. Like Ligue 1 is a prime example. He's got Arsenal, he's got Madrid. two complete different countries. And I know a few other people that's got their main
Oh yeah,
Premier League.
definitely.
Yeah, and then they've got their lower league team, because a lot of my missus, her family, they're all season ticket holders for QPR. So I've been to a lot of QPR games. But because I don't directly support QPR, like, I salute you, bro, because you've got a double whammy. Like, say if they both play
Yeah,
on
of
the
course,
same day,
QPR, of course, 100%. Like
yeah. But
I've been to
you,
QPR.
yeah.
I've
So
been
I
to
was just gonna say
QPR
you've got a
before with the
double
Dons
whammy,
and
bro.
all.
Yeah, I know, I know. Don't worry. You've got a double whammy, because if both of your teams lose on the same day, bro, that's stress, bro. I don't even know how I deal with it, bro. So I gotta salute you for that, man. I gotta salute you for that. Um, yeah, you gotta maybe tell us about that, man. How must that feel?
Because obviously, look, I know how it feels for MK and Arsenal losing, and majority, obviously, like I get so stressed, like literally when both teams, of course, end up losing, and majority of that, I'd obviously prefer Arsenal more because I don't
Mm,
like when Arsenal lose. Because majority, I created this YouTube channel mainly like a day out vlog. Then majority, I was more talking about Arsenal during the lockdown, during throughout the years, and I've had this YouTube platform for 5 years, and I've
mm,
grown the channel so well. Recently, the channel and the subscribers haven't gone up a bit. I've gained quite a few subs in that, but majority of that, we're getting there slowly.
mm, mm,
We're getting there very, very, very slowly.
mm. No, no. Well, listen,
I think
everyone
I've
in the
lagged
building
again.
now, make sure you go and subscribe to Luca Talks Ball. You can see it in the ticker there. Subscribe to Luca Talks Ball. Um, Maybe one more thing about MK Dons before we go on to some Arsenal questions. Obviously, I don't really
Yeah.
know nothing about them. I mean, what's the kind of the highlights of what's going on? I mean, are they challenging in the league? Is there any kind of promising
Not this
players coming
season.
through? Or,
This season with MK is very, very, very bad. Majority we've had two sackable managers within a season now. We had Mike Williamson. I don't know if you remember Mike Williamson as a Newcastle defender
vaguely,
when we drew
vaguely.
4-4 against Newcastle in 2010. Obviously, the guy
When-
who scored is obviously dead now. So,
Oh
but
man,
a majority of that, Mike Williamson was a defender at Newcastle, and we got him from Gateshead about a year and a half or so, and majority of that, he became the manager. He got us into the playoffs last season in the 2023-24, but we embarrassingly got lost 8-1 to Crawley over the two legs in a total
wow,
aggregate score 8-1, and it was embarrassing. And then we had a whole summer clear out. Then we had to bring a few summers in. I think we brought in like 16 new players, and then majority of that. Um, then we got rid of him. Then we brought in Scott Lindsay in, the manager who knocked us out in the playoff semi-final. We brought half of their squad. Big up to you, Ratchet, as well. Arsenal Revolution, great channel, man. Go and
yeah,
subscribe to him. Doing
go and
bits. It's doing
subscribe.
bits. And I watched your podcast yesterday with Aaron. Absolutely fantastic with Jez
Mm,
and that. But no, anyway. And then we got Lindsay in, and then started all right. We won 6 games on the trot, and then we kind of like fell off. And then we brought in 8 players this January transfer window, and we got rid of a couple of players on loan. We had to send a couple of players back out on the back. One of our goalkeepers went back to Brighton. We sent a striker out on loan to Warsaw. One of our defenders has gone to Colchester on loan to the end of the season. So we've had a few clear outs, but majority of that, the second half of the season, we got into January the 1st. We were in good position. We were in the automatic and in the playoffs. We won the first game of the 1st January to 2025. We beat
mm,
Chesterfield away. And then after that, ever since we lost to Salford, we've lost. And
wow,
it's just we're sitting in 18th in League Two. We're 12 points clear off the drop. There's about 10 games to go. We've got a game in hand, which is on Tuesday. It's Carlisle away. And we're taking on Cheltenham on Saturday. I will be going to Cheltenham away, so there'll be a vlog for that.
yeah,
Um,
wicked.
yeah, and I just feel like with Scott Lindsay, the possession, we kept playing all this possession football, and the players were falling out with him. They weren't listening to his instructions, and things just weren't going right around the club in the dressing room. And then we got rid of him about a month ago or so. Um, just under a month ago, and then we've got Ben Gladwin as an interim manager. We haven't got a manager yet, but we're planning a mission for a manager. We've been linked to a few people. We linked people saying about Wayne Rooney. Um,
Really?
Majority, yeah, or one of our ex-players called Anthony Kay, who got us promoted from League One to the Championship in 2014, 2015 season. So
Okay.
we're on about those kind of like candidates. But I want a manager who's not going to play possession football. I want a manager who's not going to pass the ball from the back. I want a manager who's attacking mindset fluid. That's going to turn, because we've got one of the best squads, which people expect us to win the league at the start of the season. It's just majority. We just can't seem to get it worked, and the team's on low confidence. We won a game a couple of weeks ago against Morecambe at home, but we've only won 3 games this year, and we haven't won an away game since New Year's Day.
Wow. Free
It's
games.
3 games, 2 home games, and 1 away game. And hopefully
Jeez.
this weekend we finally win an away game, because I just want the season. Just look, we're going to stay up. We're not going to the National League. It would be a disaster for a Premiership stadium which doesn't get filled up. 30,500 capacity. We don't even get that. We get about 5,000 capacity, and it's very, very, very
Really?
bad. It's very
Wow.
bad at the
Yeah.
moment. The
Yeah.
clubs are now starting to become toxic, and majority it's not looking good at the moment. And
Mm.
but as long as we stay up, send the season a good high, get the manager in, that's going to get us going, and try and push the next season. And because I think majority is mainly the recruitment. We've got a
Mm.
recruitment guy called Liam Sweeten, and he's not very good. He's a bit like Edu, a little bit. So
Oh man. Well, listen, mate. It sounds like kind of MK Don's season's kind of petering out the same way Arsenal's had. A little bit like where there's not really
we're
too much.
15 points. We're 15, 16 points off the playoffs. We'd have to win like every single game, and that's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. So
So
it's kind of like with Arsenal and Liverpool, in it. Do you know what I mean?
it's our
Um.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well then, last question I'll ask you on MK Dons. Yeah. Because if if Arsenal lose but MK Dons win, does that cheer you up?
Majority. What are you saying? If Arsenal lose, did you say?
Yeah. Say we got
No, it
a
doesn't cheer
situation
me
where
up.
they both
It does
play.
not cheer me up. It does not cheer me up. It
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
doesn't
I just wanted to
cheer
know
me
because if they play on the
up.
same day, yeah, do you know what I mean?
Arsenal would have to win, and if Dons lose, rather have Arsenal win and have MK Dons lose. And
Uh,
obviously, I don't like MK Dons losing,
yeah, I
right?
had to put you on the spot,
But
my bro. I had to put you on the spot, man. But good man, good man. All right, well, going back to Arsenal. Obviously, you mentioned a few things at the start that I want to kind of go into a little bit
yeah,
more with you. Big up Tony Claude Gunner, big up Waffle TV. They were chatting about Gabriel getting some attention from the Saudis for the second time, and whether his head might turn. And basically, I'll ask you the same question as they was asking. If you had the gun to your head, which one would you sell? Would you sell Gabriel or would you sell William Saliba?
for
Because we
me,
got Madrid after Saliba, ain't we, as well? So
yeah, for me, none of them really. But because majority they are
got
best
a
two
gun to
centre
your head,
backs since we
Luca.
last. Huh?
You got a gun to your head. You got a gun to your head. You got to pick one.
I'd have to say Gabriel, to be honest. I'd
Yeah.
have to say Gabriel, because Saliba's the most important defender. I know Gabriel's been so important this season, and he's scored more headers, and he's been a lot better than Saliba. But Saliba's very hard to replace, and I feel like Gabriel can be replaced, but
Oh,
Saliba, nah, he's untouchable. And I think out of the two who goes, I think majority's likely to be Saliba, because Saliba, I don't see both of them leaving next season. I think next season both of them will be here with us, but I think the following season, I think one of them goes. I really do. I cannot see us keeping them for any longer. I think that one of them's going to go. I think they're going to have one more season, both of them. And then if we don't win anything next season, I think we're seriously in big trouble. And we could be going down that route where we got rid of Van Persie, Fabregas, Clichy, Nasri, Adebayor, all them lot,
mm,
Alexis. And I don't want us to go back down that route. And with these lot you have to sign. Okay, these lot have to sign, um, and majority of that, I can see Saliba and Gabriel staying, but next season I do think has to be the year where you have to question Mikel Arteta, because I'm not Mikel Arteta's biggest fan, right? And I had an old channel called Arsenal Vlogs, and that got nearly 1,400 subs, and I didn't have it anymore. I got rid of it, and majority of that that channel was going places, and now this channel is going places as well. And to be honest, look, I never wanted Mikel Arteta in the first place. I never wanted him in the first place. Ancelotti was my man, or Allegri at the time when Allegri was good. But I get to say, people are saying that if Saudi come in for 100 million for Gabriel, would you actually take that? If it all but means getting Isak.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, look, we got a tone for the fact that this guy's a defender, and they don't go for as much as strikers, because obviously Tony Claude Gunner was using the Isak example, the fact that Newcastle has valued him at 150 million. And obviously he's a defender. I'm sure Luca will be back. He's a defender, and they generally don't go for that kind of money. That's why for me, I know Saliba's younger, but I feel like what we're getting from Gabriel at this particular time, right now, is that's going to be harder to replace. But we will get the more money. Say, for instance, if you wanted to use a sale of one of those two to help with Isak, you've got to counter in the fact that Saliba's a little bit younger as well. I think Saliba's what, 23, 24 still? Gabriel's
Oh yeah, of
27.
course.
So it's a very hard one, though, bro. I don't want to get rid of none of them, but like I said, if I had a gun to my head, because I look at Gabriel as my captain. So for me, I know you said you'd sell Gabriel. Fair play, I understand why. For me, it would be Saliba, just because, like I said, I feel like Gabriel's more of a leader of men at this point in time, right now. Because as you said, mate, I think we're very close to that point again where
Yeah, but
if
that means if we get rid of Saliba, he's very who can replace him.
no,
The only
bro,
defender who I can think can replace Saliba is maybe Bastoni from Inter Milan, but they're not
Bastoni.
going to sell him.
Nah, 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 nah. No,
Or
no, I
Min-
know,
or,
I understand that. I
or
understand that it's going to be
Mataro from Real
very
Madrid.
hard.
So
I feel like it'll be, but the question I ask most Arsenal fans is though, bro, like say for instance, like because we've had times where Saliba's been out this season, and we've had times where Gabriel's missed the game. The defense looks a lot more better when it's Gabriel and say Kivior rather than it's Saliba and Kivior. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Do you feel like that's true, or do
I
you
don't
feel
trust Kivior in a defence against Gabriel. I think maybe they can last maybe a couple of games, but majority of that, no. Saliba and
no, of
Gabriel is
course
the
they need each other. They need each other. I understand
well,
that.
we need
But
each
like I
other.
said, yeah, because we got these clubs, Real Madrid, you've got Saudi with all their money. And just like you said, bro, the fact that we haven't got across the line, it is getting close to that point where if we don't get across the line, this is going to be something we seriously have
Then
to
yeah, but
consider.
this is what I'm worried about. This is what I'm really, really worried about, because majority of that, if we end up getting back to what I said earlier about becoming that club again, where we're going to go into the dark times, getting rid of people like Van Persie, Alexis, and all that.
Mm,
We cannot afford to get rid of our best players. But if we're not winning anything, and it's been 5, 6 years we've not won anything under Mikel Arteta, they will leave. It's down to them. It's like,
yeah.
say, for example, you have a job, right, and they want you to stay, and they're offering you like promotions and offering you contracts and that. It's down to the person if they want to leave. You might want to hang your notice and say, you know what, I want to go and try bigger things. It's
Mm,
like
mm.
majority of that. I can see them staying for next season, but if we don't win the league next season, because they want the Premier League and the Championship, they don't want FA Cups, they don't want Carabao Cups, they want
I would have
titles.
taken that this year, though. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. If I would have taken that, I would have bit your arm off for that this year.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
But they're obviously players that are like on the cusp of being world class. So they've said it themselves. They need to win things. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I totally
I think
agree, man.
Saka stays if we don't win stuff, because Saka's very commitment. Because I said that I
What
went
do
on
you
a
think
channel.
about that, though, Luca? What do you think about that? If Saka signs a new deal, do you think that that's because of out of commitment to the Arsenal, or do you think it's lack of ambition?
I think it's both. I think it's either lack of ambition, or majority is he has to know that he has to win trophies. Like, don't get me wrong, if you win an FA Cup, Carabao Cup, that's great. We're Arsenal Football Club. We
Mm,
demand better. People need to
mm,
raise the standards and realise, okay, one more year for Mikel Arteta. I want Mikel Arteta out now. I'd sack him tonight. I'd sack him tomorrow
Same,
morning, right?
same.
But majority of that, one more year, he has to win the league and he has to get a striker. I don't want none of this Benjamin Sesko. And I see people on Facebook, Twitter, all this stuff. People are commenting saying, "Oh, Sesko scored so many goals." And what?
Yeah,
Kai
yeah.
Havertz did it at Bayern Leverkusen. What's he done now? Havertz has not been that bad at Arsenal. I
Mm,
think he's had a better career at Arsenal compared to Chelsea. This
mm,
season, I don't think he's not been great. Right, he had a good start to the season and the end of the second half of last season.
mm.
But majority of the Kai Havertz, that injury's knocking on. He's only got 9 goals, and he's our main man.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
It's
Yeah.
embarrassing. I just feel like
Yeah.
this club's now gone backwards,
Mm,
really
mm.
backwards. You're sitting 12 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah, that is. It's
It's
very hard to
embarrassing.
take.
It's very,
It's
very
hard
hard
to
to
take.
be an Arsenal fan. And this
Yeah.
is why
Yeah.
we're so praying that we can beat Real Madrid. That gives us because the winner of that will play PSG or Villa.
Well,
Don't
I'm
get me
gonna
wrong.
ask you about that. I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna ask you about that. Let me just get one or two of these comments before I do. So big at AFC always. He's saying Gabriel was the more aggressive defender to Saliba. Saliba reminds me of the great David O'Leary. So calm on the ball. Very good comment. Big up Into
Yeah.
the Box. If you ain't subscribed to Into the Box, go and do that now. Another Arsenal creator. Big up Into the Box. He's bigging up Luca. He's also saying if we get 100 million for Gabby, I say yes. It's a lot of money, but Saliba stays at least 2 years. So I think he's with you, Luca. I think he would keep Saliba and get rid of Gabriel. Last comment here, big at AFC always. He said Ollie Watkins is better than Sesko. 100%,
Yeah,
100%
Ollie
agree with
Watkins is better than Sesko. We should have got Ollie Watkins in the January transfer window. Why did
you.
this club, this Arsenal Football Club, these owners, right, end up putting 45 million? The guy's the same age as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, my friend. And Ollie
Yeah, yeah.
Watkins, Aston Villa wanted 60 million. Slap 65 million, you get the guy in the transfer window.
Even if you slap the
But
60, like
no,
the fact we've come in with underneath it, that's wild, isn't it? That's absolutely wild. Yeah. And so, all right, cool. So then,
100%.
yeah. So going into the summer, as you said, because obviously, and we were talking about what we're going to do and all this other stuff. Firstly, what do you think of Berta? Do you think he's going to be a yes man, or do you think he's here to actually really change what happens at this club?
It's a bit difficult at the moment because I've not really seen what he's like, but obviously I've heard some good reports. But you all hear that all the time, you know what I mean? You get that all the time, and half the time it don't work. I really hope he doesn't turn out into a yes man. Personally, it's very difficult for me to judge, but at the moment, if I can say, maybe he will end up sorting things out because this guy's not the guy to sack Mikel Arteta. It's going to come down to the Cronkies. And
Mm, mm,
majority, I really hope him and Mikel Arteta do get on because I don't want to obviously have like a situation where he doesn't get on with Arteta, he walks. And if he
yeah.
walks, he's ambitious. And
Mm,
majority, he would know that, thinking, right, why would I want to come to this football club? I'll waste my time. This club's not
mm.
improving, and I want better recruitment to get this team challenging again, like he did with.
Atletico Madrid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big up all the people locked in, locked on. Obviously, Luca is out and about at the moment, so he's obviously struggling. I can't go too far beyond 7, and I know he can't either. So we might have to kind of re-adjourn. Here he comes. There you go, mate. No worries at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
know you're
my
out and about, mate. I know it's
sorry, I
difficult.
kept losing connection. Connection's
Yeah,
very
no
hard,
worries.
man.
Because I was going to do the lineup builder with you and all that, but because you're out and about, I'll probably just keep it to the questions. So let me get your thoughts on this Real Madrid game, man. A couple of things.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
do you think we have any chance? Firstly, and secondly, the famous question: would you play Saka in the game?
Well, first things first, I'll start off with Bukayo Saka, then I'll give you my chances of that. Um, I wouldn't play Bukayo Saka for the rest of the season. I think for me, this fan base is now getting all gassy, thinking, like, oh, Mikel Arteta knows what he's doing. Arteta knows what he's doing. Bukayo
Mm.
Saka, this and that.
Nope, nope. Hopefully he'll be back to give us his. But I mean, we got the main gist. He said he wouldn't play Bukayo Saka. Obviously, I'm asking everyone. You know my thoughts on it. I'm 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 basically the same. I'm basically the same as Luca. You know, I personally wouldn't risk him. But then obviously it does come down to because obviously, like as other people have said it as well, right? You know, Saka's going to be knocking on the door to come and play as well. I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to sit around when you've got a game of that magnitude.
People
So
keep
go on,
calling me, man. People keep calling me, bro, and I
Oh
need
yeah,
them off the
don't
phone.
worry. Go on. So you were saying about
Right.
Saka?
But no, I was saying about Bukayo Saka, and regardless to that, I wouldn't play him for the rest of the season. I would not play him for the rest of the season, and majority of that, I don't want him to turn out being a Michael Owen situation.
Mm,
I really don't want him to turn into a Michael Owen situation, because if that happens, this manager's now, we've seen him in the past where he's killed players and burnt out players, and if he ends up playing Bukayo Saka, right, and he ends up getting injured, then people are going to start asking questions, thinking, this manager has brought him back. Why did we not go and strengthen in the January transfer window? Why did we not buy a great backup?
mhm.
Otherwise, he's going to be like, oh, we've got Rick Sterling's going to.
All I heard is something about Sterling there, and I don't think Sterling's going to do a damn thing. If I'm going to be honest, let's hope Luca could sort that out. He's a little bit frozen there. Let's get that off and try and get him back on.
I'm frozen again.
There
The
we go.
connection's very bad
Yeah,
today,
no
isn't it?
worries. You're all right now.
Connection's very
You're all
bad.
right now. You're all right.
But my
It's all right.
thoughts on
We'll
that
do it
Bukayo
again another
Saka,
time anyway.
right? I would not play him against you, because majority of that, I would not want to play Bukayo Saka in a game against Real Madrid. It's Mikel Arteta's fault. You should have gone and bought a winger. Semenyo from Bournemouth. There was other
Mm,
players available in the January transfer window. Why did we not go and get that positions in January? If you weren't going to go and get that big striker,
mm,
we can go and get a wide player. And now we've got to do all this in the summer.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
just don't
Totally
get it.
agree, man. Totally agree. I'm exactly the same. I wouldn't play Saka myself. We got to save him till next season, in my opinion. AFC always agrees with us. All right. So before I let you go, then, based on that, what are your what's
My
your thoughts on
chances
Madrid?
against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Look, I'm looking forward to the tie. First time, it's got a bit of history, heritage from 2006. But
Mm,
getting about 2006, very gassy, and the majority of that,
oh,
I'm not confident going into Real Madrid. I ain't confident going into Real Madrid
not
because
confident in Real Madrid.
no, I'm not confident going into Real Madrid because I don't see this team challenging against Madrid, and Arteta's trying to rush Bukayo Saka back, and I know a lot of people said either Atletico Madrid or Real Madrid. I would have played Atletico Madrid, but a lot of people said Real Madrid because Real Madrid are pretty much open space. Atleti are very, very defensive, and the last time we played Atletico Madrid, we end up drawing that game, and then we lost the second leg. They were just so defensive. Oblak had an absolute worldy game, and then majority of that we didn't go through. And I think it's going to be a really, really difficult test. And this Arsenal side needs to go and show to me with the squad what we've got now needs to go and beat Real Madrid. We've got no Jesus, we've got no Havertz, we ain't got any of them. We ain't got no firepower up front.
Yep. I don't think he's frozen again now, but some good points. We don't have any firepower up front. We don't have all of these players, and the thing is, we weren't even good enough when they were there anyway. We weren't good enough when they were there anyway, in my opinion. They could have been a lot better in terms of how they played. The form has gone downhill. Big up AFC saying, why didn't we bring someone in on a free? Bro, why didn't we bring a loan in January? We could have brought a loan in January. We could have brought a free. But yeah, no, I totally agree, man. I totally agree, Luke. I mean, so we got the first leg at home. Give us a score prediction before I let you go, my bro.
Bukayo Saka does come back because I don't want Arteta to play him against Fulham and Everton. We don't need him for them.
Yeah.
And there's rumours that he could be on the bench against Fulham, and I hope that doesn't come to to the conclusion because I don't want him featured in those games. Because the league title's already over and Everton away will be a hard game for us. If Saka's back, I think it. I don't know, man. It's very difficult. Maybe a draw, and then I can see it maybe like a 2-2 draw, and then of course, I think we'll end up losing to Real Madrid like 2-0 resistance. I'm not confident going into that game, and we wait to see. Let's see if Mikel Arteta has a plan to stop the best team in the world. Real Madrid. Like, I don't know what your score prediction is.
Well, I don't think it's going to be as bad as some people are talking. You know, so I've heard some people saying 5s and 6. I don't think it's going to be bad like that. I think it will be a relatively low-scoring game. At the Emirates. I'm going for like I don't know if we're going to beat them at the Emirates. We need to, but I don't know if we are. So I'm going for like a 1-1 at the Emirates.
We need to win at the Emirates.
We need to win, but I don't know if we can. You know, that's the thing. And people call me defeatist, and they say, you know, why do you not? And I just feel like I'm being realistic. But I mean, you know, what do you think? Do you think it's being defeatist to say that we're not going to win that game?
I don't see us winning that game. I think at best maybe a draw. Even that, like I'm trying to be positive, maybe a draw at positive. But right now, negativity, I can see us losing maybe like 2-1 or 2-0 because I don't see us really scoring against where the goal's going to come from.
Yeah,
it's Bukayo Saka and Martinelli going to be really on it because we've got to be we've got to play like we did against Man City at home. Take our chances. We've got to be or PSV away. We've got to be clinical.
I mean, the only thing that I've got,
very clinical.
Yeah, the only thing that I've kind of got in the back of my mind is that because the way we played against PSV, the way we played against Man City, for me, that's the anomaly this year. Yeah. So how we played against Chelsea, for instance, that's the norm. That's what you're going to get from Arsenal on a weekly basis. But every now and again, you might get a PSV, you might get a Man City. So I don't expect that to happen. But that's the only kind of little thing I've got in the back of my mind to say that we might be able to make it at least respectable. Yeah. So like I said, for me, I think it will probably be like a 1-1 at the Emirates, and I feel like it will be like a 2-1 or a 2-0 at the Bernabeu. So I feel like we're going to lose the game. But when people say like, you know, you're going to get whitewashed and it's going to be this, that, and the other, I mean, look, I don't think Arsenal's lost by more than 3 goals. I don't think Arsenal's lost by more than 3 goals this season. So, yeah, like I said, I feel like it will be like a 1-1 at the Emirates, and then we'll probably lose like 2-0 or 2-1 at the Bernabeu. Oh, is he having problems again? Yeah, my bro. So, but yeah, look, we just hit 7, and I've got a chip anyway, very, very shortly. But I do thank you for coming.
Sorry about all this.
No worries, man. We'll get another one in, bro.
What we'll do is next time, obviously, we'll do a live stream. Call me.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll sort it out, bro. We'll sort it out, man. 100%. I do thank you for being here, though, man. Even though you're out. Yeah. So I thank you for being here, my bro.
Subscribe to my channel. Do the talk and all that stuff. Subscribe to my channel and all that stuff. And expect a vlog on the weekend. And subscribe to the channel, man. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Yeah, no worries, man. Listen, big up Luca, man. Make sure everyone subscribes to his channel. Yeah, and as you heard, I was going to ask him what he might have coming up, but he said he's probably going to have a vlog coming up, probably for the MK Dons fixture, which is always a good watch. I'm not going to lie, it is a good watch. Obviously, he's out and about. It was very difficult. We'll have to probably arrange another Under the Lens, or at least another show where we can get his opinion a little bit more, man. But yeah, on closing, let me get into some of these. Why didn't we get someone on the free? Like I said, I really don't know, my bro. Even if we were to win the first leg by 2-0, I still wouldn't be confident for the second leg. No, and to be honest with you, bro, let me sit up. To be honest with you, bro, I feel the same as well. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel the same as well. People are calling me defeatist, you know, and I hear it. You know, big up Just D, big up Fam Zone. They were saying, you know, Patrick, big up Patrick as well. True City fan. Make sure you go and subscribe to Patrick. If you haven't already donated, I donated. I will be further donating as well on payday. You know, he's fighting cancer. So there was a massive charity stream. I think Don Hassan done one. Big up NAF, Never a Foul, Kaz and Daps. Them man there did one and had all your favorite YouTubers over there donating. So it's a great cause, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But even he was saying, look, that's, you know, Patrick, what Patrick's going through, that's fighting odds. Like what we've got against Madrid, it's a game of football. And I hear that. I really do. But I can't stop myself from just looking at this game realistically. Like, obviously, yeah, I'm trying to look at the matchups. I'm looking at Rodrigo, you know, who is he going to be up against? For me, it needs to be Kieran Tierney, because I feel like Skelly, he can be a bit rash. I don't want him to change his game by any stretch of the imagination, but he can be a bit rash. Calafiori will get cooked. So for me, it's got to be Tierney. But what is he going to do? He's probably going to play Lewis Skelly. You see what I'm saying? So there's loads of little things. I'm looking at it, you know, if you play Kieran Tierney, if you play Martinelli through the middle and not on the left or the right, then maybe he can give us a little something different. You know what I mean? Give the defender something to think about with his pace. I'm really trying to assess the game, guys, innit? And and when I look at it, I'm just like, look, man, you know, we have got a good platform in defense, you know, depending on the midfield and how it turns up, you know, on mass, the team should be able to cope with what Real Madrid's got. But I just feel like it'll be like a snake bite. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it will just sliver up on you, and then you get me, like start of the game, end of the game. It can come at any time. We could actually be playing well and then book dagger. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot. It's a lot for us to deal with, man. But that's the only thing we've got left of the season. It literally is our final. Couple of people still in the building. So before I go, if we manage to get past this Madrid side, right, and it's a massive if, call me a defeatist, whatever you want to say, do you even think this team's got the legs to get to the final and win it? I asked a question on my earlier live. Who would you rather face, Villa or PSG? At this point, I'm stumped. The PSG that just knocked Liverpool out, Jesus Christ. That is not the same PSG that we played. So I got some bloody hair, some moment. Bloody hell. It's not the same PSG that we played. I'm pretty sure they never had Kvaratskhelia when we played them, bro. I'm pretty sure Dembele weren't sourcing like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at that like, boy, I don't know if I want that PSG. But then I'm looking at Villa and I'm like, Unai's got our number. He's got it, mate. It's speed out. Hello? You know, like that. I want to see more teeth. Unai's got his number, mate. And he can talk his language. Do you know what I'm saying? And more time, Unai dunks on Arteta. So Aston Villa over 2 legs. Psh, Ollie Watkins dunking on us, knocking us out the Champions League. Can you imagine that? And then if we manage to get past whichever one of those 2 teams we might face, and I'm saying if, it's all hypothetical, then what we've got, is it the final after that? And then that's probably going to be like against, I don't know, a Munich or a Barca or something. Yamal and Rafinha and them man there. Jeez. We will get messed up. I'm telling you. But I'm just, I'm defeated. I hear that. I hear go into the game with some fight. But I just feel like I've had the stuffing knocked out of me all of from the start of the season. If they gave me something to be cheering about, we all know what we did last summer. It weren't very much. So if only they just come back in January and said boom, boom, boom. It's an emergency window. This is a state of emergency, innit? Like Havertz, Saka, Martinelli, like everyone was out. Everyone is out in terms of the attack. We needed players anyway. Do you know what I mean? You're not giving me nothing to be excited about. You're not giving me nothing to feel. You know, if you want me to show teeth, then give me some reason to fucking show teeth, innit? Big at AFC always. If we beat Real Madrid, we have to go on and win. Yeah, you'd think we'd have to, but you know what we're like, bro. Just like after we beat PSV, look at the next game. Just like after we beat Man City, look at the next game. It's like we just shoot our boat, innit? Boom, that's it. No, not November now, until the next month or something. Am I wrong? Do you know what I mean? Sorry, people. Just Luca, just getting back to him, man. He's just saying sorry to everyone again, man. We'll sort out a show. We'll sort out a longer one. No problem. No problem, man. These things happen, you know. These things happen. But yeah, there will be more under the lenses coming. I got 2 tomorrow, so hopefully we have some better connection issues. Like I said, I'm not gonna try and hold it against Luca. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. Like I said, big up Shane Guna. I was late for my first ever show. I was sleeping. Do you know what I mean? So shit happens, guys. But yeah, before we go, let us know, man. AFC, he's letting us know that he don't think we're gonna get past Madrid at all. Which is fair play. He said even if we were to win the first leg 2-0, still wouldn't be confident for the second leg. I feel the same. I feel the same. I can't even lie. Would you say this is the better chance for Arsenal to go on and win the Champions League this year? 1 second. Someone just come in. 1 second. Sorry. Sorry about that. I mean, look, at the end of the day, like if you beat Real Madrid, anyone would think that you're gonna go on and win the Champions League. You'd think in your mind like we just beat Madrid, you know. And to be honest, it will be a bit different from Liverpool's beating of Madrid. Not to say Liverpool's win don't count, but I'm saying this is the Madrid in the knockout stages, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? So if we did beat this Madrid, then you'd only think that, you know, the whole team and the manager, everyone would feel the fan base that we might. But like I said, man, it will be typical Arsenal to get past Madrid and then go out to Villa or something like that. But I do think that, you know, if I feel like the footballing gods have given us an opportunity, like if we was to have gone out in January and got some players, people, then I think we could have had a chance, not for just the Champions League, but we could have still been in at least one of the cups. You know, we could have mounted a challenge to try and catch Liverpool, but you've given us nothing. You've seen that you've not done enough in the summer, and then you've topped it in January. Like, I'm gonna do even worse in January. If you didn't care about the players in the summer, in January, bro, it's like you've got amnesia. You've forgotten their names, bro. You know, like that. But I hear what you're saying, bro. Like, obviously, if we was to beat Madrid, you'd think generally that the team would feel that they can go on and win it. But do we have enough? This is why I don't feel like we're gonna catch Liverpool. 12 points down from 15. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Liverpool, like, they're probably gonna fall off a little bit, but it's just not gonna be enough. I mean, I think mathematically it's still possible, but that's what I'm saying. Am I being defeatist or am I being realistic? Glass half full, glass half empty. It's just however you see it, isn't it? Sorry, I would rather get knocked out to Real Madrid than get knocked out by Villa in the 7th. Do you understand what I'm saying, bro? Like, everyone expects us to get knocked out of this. This should obviously be not respectable because it's a quarter-final, but, you know, it's no progress on what we did last year. However, we've played Bayern Munich and Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. I remember everyone saying pray for Bayern Munich, but yeah, everyone and people are doing the same kind of thing. There's half of us that are like, nah, I remember pray for Bayern Munich. Like, I'm praying for Arsenal, you know, like that. And then there's the other half that are like, nah, I ain't gonna be defeatist. How can you go in there already thinking you're gonna lose? And it's so hard because I hear all of that. But this PTSD is real. This PTSD that Arsenal fans have is real. It's real. You know? This PTSD is hella real, bruv. So for me, I'm always going to be a glass half empty because I'm just sick of seeing it. As Lucas said, you know, he's sick of seeing the top players go because there's no ambition. Van Persie put it all in a letter. Thierry Henry came out and said it. Cesc Fabregas came out and said it. There's no ambition. I want to play with it. I want to win the champs. I was saying to Shane Gooner on our Under the Lens, my dad died and didn't see Arsenal lift the proper European trophy, bro. Of course, he saw the fairs and the Cup Winners' Cup, but they're not even in existence. They don't count, apparently. So cool. I ain't going to do a Chris Eubank Jr. trying to count the IBO like it's something like, no, it's not. 40 years old, 41, man could be dying before I see my club lift the Champions League. Imagine that. That's why I was so happy for Newcastle. Big up Specs, big up all the Geordies. Finally get to see something in your lifetime. Because imagine kicking the bucket and never seeing nothing. Certain Spurs fans are gonna, you know, they could be in that bracket. I've seen shit, bro. I've seen Invincibles, I've seen doubles, I've seen FA Cups. All right, I ain't seen the champs. I ain't even seen the Europa. That's why when people trying to diss it and say, oh, even the Euro, I'm like, bro, don't even talk on the Conference League. Because Arsenal haven't got no pedigree in Europe. Can't even talk on the conference, bro. I'll take the conference right now. That's what we was in. Then I'll take it. Chelsea, you want to make sure you win that, brother, and just finish up everything. Of course, they've won the other stuff. But yeah, if you're in the competition, win it. That's what the game's about. But anyway, gang, we're going to wrap it up. Before we do, make sure you hit the like, drop a comment on the video. Helps with the algo and all them thing there. Hit the subscribe button. We've got 2 Under the Lenses tomorrow. I'm going to be knackered. Got early start, off at Wembley, doing the flagging for the England game against Albania. Coming back home. Do I have to pick up the kids? I've got to do something. I've got to cook. And then I've got 2 lives. So watch out for them. 4 o'clock tomorrow and 7 p.m. tomorrow. Under the Lens with Tops. Big up my bro T Chanzo Sports. Doing big things at the minute. And big up my bro GVO Mike's West Ham fan. Also doing big things at the minute. You've probably seen him around your local YouTube streets, you know, like that. So he will be blessing man with a little appearance tomorrow. The same as Tops. So watch out for that, people. Big up AFC always, as usual. Big up 4-0 as well. He was in the building. Big up Into the Box. He was in the building as well. And I can't even remember. We've had people coming in and out. Yeah, we had Rashid. Big up Arsenal Revolution TV. I would like to get you on the Under the Lens as well. We had Aaron Talks Ball as well. Or Aaron Talks Arsenal. Make sure you go and check him out. We're definitely going to get him on the Under the Lens next week. So yeah, man, keep an eye out, people. Big up all the people that showed love, as always. And we'll be back again soon, gang.